Joining us now is the former NHS Trust Chairman, Martin Gower. Martin, thanks for joining me. So this is about Dr Sarah Benn. She was arrested for protesting, taking part in a Just Stop Oil protest. It was her third protest. She served prison time, and now the Medical Practitioners Tribunal Service has ruled that her fitness to practice has been impaired. It doesn't make sense to me.
Well, I think the trouble is at the moment, because she was protesting for Just Stop Oil. I think I was one of those organisations that protest about climate change. This was not the reason that the Medical Practitioners Tribunal Service gave for questioning her fitness to practice. The issue was that there'd been an interim injunction that prevented her doing that, and she went and did it anyway, which is, of course, contempt of court. Now, if a doctor can't actually adhere to an injunction that's been passed, whether she agrees with it or not, and then gets locked up for 32 days in jail as a result, because it is a criminal offence to ignore an injunction, then I think, frankly, there is a question mark about her fitness to practice. Now, they haven't said she's going to be struck off. That's still the decision on what her, if you like, punishment will be has yet to come. There may be no punishment. However, I think that a lot of the media are actually taking an incorrect and inaccurate line on this, that it's to do with the fact that she's protesting against climate change.
So it's for the fact that she was arrested and served time in jail, that what she did is by the by, but the fact that there was an injunction to stop her from going and protesting, and she broke that injunction.
Absolutely. I mean, if you're instructed by a court not to do something, and then you go on and do it, I think on more than one occasion, even though you may be peaceful, you may be absolutely passionate about saving the planet, it doesn't actually make any difference. You have broken the law by actually practicing a contempt of court. And frankly, there have been quite minor things in the past that have people have shown contempt of court and have been punished for it. Now, the question is a lawbreaker somebody who's clearly not heeded an injunction and decided to go to this protest anyway? Is that person fit to be a doctor? And I suppose the question is, really, doctors are supposed to be sort of cleaner than clean in terms of obeying the law, and this would appear not to be the case with Dr Benn.
But Martin, I would suggest we use some common sense here. We're not talking about a doctor who's gone on a killing spree. She's not done any harm to people, and I'm the last person to defend Just Stop Oil, despite the fact I'm wearing their colours today. But if she was a police officer, I would understand. Oh, she's a police officer, she's broken the law, she can't then be seen to uphold the law if she's breaking it herself. But her going and doing a peaceful protest, breaking the injunction, that doesn't affect her as a GP. I think if common sense is to prevail in this, serving 31 days in jail for breaking an injunction, we need our GPs.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many ways of looking at this that you could say, for example, that she's in the last chance saloon. One more demonstration at this particular place and breaking the injunction again, that will be the end of her career as a doctor. Yeah, they could do that. They have quite a lot of scope, but they can do nothing. What worries me, JJ, about this is that because it's to do with climate change, there is a tendency for certain areas of the media, not TalkTV, let me make the point, but to say, oh, well, that's okay, because these people are really passionate. You know, they care about climate change, and they know how much going on demonstrations will mean that the planet will be saved from all this use of these fossil fuels, which we know is not true anyway. But you know, that there is that. It doesn't matter if it's to do with climate change. Indeed, I think there's been a court case recently where climate change protesters, for doing something relatively serious, were actually dismissed without being found guilty of anything.
Martin, you're absolutely right. Yesterday on the show, I had a doctor on who was also a spokesperson for Just Stop Oil, Dr Cush, and he suggested that by going on protests to essentially save future lives and save the planet, that was part of his Hippocratic oath, and that it's in line with his job as a doctor because he's going to be saving lives in the future.
No, absolutely not. And to say that it is frankly complete nonsense. What people need to understand is the law is the law. We may not like the law. We might disagree with an injunction being issued, and then it might, disagree with that injunction because it's this precious thing called saving the planet. Everybody needs to get real about this. Frankly, whatever we do in the UK, whatever we spend, would make such a minute impact on saving the planet that I think people get rather excited. It's become like a religion, and people get overexcited about it. The fact is, it's very simple. This particular doctor has broken the law. It's not excusable. It's not to like put it on the Hippocratic oath. Oh, if I'm being a doctor, I must of course be concerned about all those people who are going to die in the next 10 years because of climate change. No, I'm afraid, certainly with me, it doesn't rub. She's broken the law, and therefore the tribunal, the MPTS as it's called, the Medical Practitioners Tribunal Service, they have got to decide, and actually I think make a bit of a statement about if you break the law as a doctor, the tribunal will recommend quite severe sanctions.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. The law is a law. No one is above it. And perhaps actually, if the law is seen to have been served this time, this will deter Just Stop Oil protesters from going ahead and doing more protests in the future.
I think it should.
Yeah. Okay, Martin, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, JJ. Bye.